Welcome to the shop. I'm currently working on the bench that you just saw. It needs to be cleaned, and then I need to make seats for the bottom. There's two seats, they open separately. And my plan is to use scrap wood, different widths, to give it a unique look. And since it's scrap, I'm going to have the cost of my time on with it. So I'm going to begin here by squaring off the pieces for the seats before glue up. Now that table saw is a Boyson crane. It is made from cast iron. It was made in the mid-1920s to late 1920s. Weight-wise, the thing's a beast. It has a 3/4 inch arbor instead of a 5/8 or 1 inch. So I have to have the saw blades custom made for that. I order those out of Wisconsin. The saw was my grandfather's, and then it became my dad's, and it's mine now. And I'll pass that on to somebody else in the family. You can see the bottom of that saw. Currently it's not enclosed, so it sends sawdust everywhere every time I use it. And then the last shop that I was in, I had it enclosed and hooked up to a dust collector, and that needs to be done in this one too. Here what I'm doing is cutting the pieces for the seat bottom to an approximate length before I glue them up. The lathe you see in the background, that was a gift. My sister and her husband Dean, they gave me that. He had picked up another one, and they knew that I was looking for a lathe, and they gifted that to me, so we're grateful for that. I'm gluing up each of these seat bottoms in two separate pieces. That's so that I can run them through a thickness planer after the glue's dried the next day. Hope you don't mind me telling you about some of the things in the workshop as we go along. These clamps, they were my grandfather's. I have no idea how old they are. They're still really good clamps. In the background you see the door and the transom going to the office. My dad had made that transom years ago, and I actually dropped a C-clamp through it and broke it and had to have that repaired. I made a video on making that door. It's a rather lengthy video, but it was really fun to do and interesting if you care to see that one. After I get done planing these, what I'm going to do is square them up, cut them to length just before I do a glue up on them. Next, I'm going to use a biscuit joiner to put the two pieces of each panel together. Now that the glue up is done, I'm going to just go over the joints just a little bit with a low angled hand plane. There are a few spots that needed to be filled in with some wood filler before I go any further. On the bench, you can see a knife sitting there. That was my grandfather's knife. He always kept it in his shop in one of the drawers. Just a sharp edge that he kept around. Show that to you in a second. This piece that I'm making now will go at the back of the seat, and then the hinges will attach to it and it will attach to the bench. I thought the seat bottom on the bench would be better if the front edge and the side edges had a little round over on them. So that's what I'm going to do next. On the underside of the bench seats, I'm going to glue supports at the back and towards the front, making sure to give myself clearance of that front board on the bench. Now that the bench bottoms have been attached, I'm using wood conditioner before I stain. And the wood conditioner will allow it to stain evenly.